Building a longevity-focused lifestyle completely changed my life. And that in under a year. And I know it sounds absolutely insane, but in this video I want to share exactly how that happened and what changed. So at the end of 2024, I prepared for something I've been trying to do for a very long time. And before that, I was cycling through being on and off a good diet and on and off some sort of exercise. But I just couldn't stick with anything. And I was seriously wondering how anyone could do all of this for longer than just a few weeks at a time. I always reached a point where I would convince myself that it's not worth all this struggle. And then I quit until I get the next bout of motivation. And around it went until eventually I decided I have to do something different. So up to that point, my sole strategy was brute force. But whenever motivation left me, so did my good intentions. I've read all these behavioral psychology books, but I never really got past reading them. So I thought I might as well just pick a strategy and give it a go. And the strategy I picked was start small. And I know it sounds completely trite, but the idea is that you build the habit first and then you add intensity. So for exercise, for example, instead of aiming for 360-minute sessions a week, you do something daily for 10 minutes each. Because the way you build a habit is through repetition. And the more often you do something, the faster you build it. And 10 minutes is small enough that you can do it even on low motivation days. So it sounded all good, and I tried it. And honestly, it didn't feel significant. It didn't feel like I was doing anything meaningful for my health or even for my fitness. But it worked. As in, I kept showing up. I mean, sure, I still had weeks where I dropped it again, but generally, the gaps became shorter until eventually I had been showing up consistently for almost a year, even if it was just on a small scale. But that, I learned, was actually the flaw in my thinking. For whatever reason, the only change we deem acceptable are the ones that are radical and flawless and overnight. We don't like small incremental change. It just doesn't feel significant. But while my changes were small and didn't do anything major for my health, they did something major to my self-belief. I started to trust myself that I can do the things I set out to do. And that changed everything. And with this newfound self-assurance, I started a list, a longevity list. So for me, eating healthy and exercising are means to expand my health span and probably also lifespan. I just don't want to die in my 50s after years of illness like my aunt did and my mom. And I also don't want to spend my last 20 years on this earth being kinda immobile, like having trouble walking or getting up from a chair. I still want to go hiking, and that way past my 70s. And I know there is a lot of luck in all of this, but, and this surprised me, lifestyle can improve your odds tremendously. One paper actually put a number to it. About 80% of today's diseases are preventable through lifestyle changes. And that's staggering. And I want those odds. But honestly, I want to do the bare minimum. I want to do the right things, if you will. I don't want to do everything healthy. So I've read already all these books by longevity researchers like Steele and David Sinclair, and listened to podcasts and read newsletters and studies by longevity experts. And based on all that, I started that list. And I was actually surprised by how few things actually have solid evidence behind healthy aging. So it's basically like 2 to 5 things for sleep, diet, and exercise each that drive most of the health benefits. And while they're not always easy to do, seeing that list is so short it actually bolstered my confidence that I can work up to them. Fast forward to today. I'm still not doing everything that's on that list. I'm close though. Nonetheless, it changed my life in unimaginable ways. Within 11 months, I slashed my visceral fat in half. I added an additional 2.5 kilos of muscle mass while lowering my body fat and LDL cholesterol and resting heart rate and so many other things. I mean, I don't know what happens in 20, 40 years, but right now, I've never felt better in my entire life. And I don't know exactly what it is. If it's the additional energy or the better mood more often, or seeing those improved biomarkers, or feeling the strongest I've ever had. It's probably all of that. It's all of that plus, and that's a really big one, the effect it had on my self-assurance, that I can actually do the things I said I do. So if there is one big lesson I took from all of this, it's simply start. Just start small. Build consistency first. So build the habit and then gradually add intensity, increase duration, or add just more things. It might not be fast, but it's probably still faster than starting and quitting anything radical for another 10 years. Now, if you're curious about that longevity list, I actually cleaned it all up and added the health benefits and some tips where to start and a few other things and put it up on my website. So if you would like some inspiration where you could start or pick your first 2 to 4 habits from there, then you can download it from my website. I will put the link in the description. But that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.